Hi, Alessandro. Welcome here at P Magazine's booth here at Intersolar.
Thank you, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Alessandro, FuturaSun is scaling up capacities in China and now is building a solar module factory in Italy.
Yes, that's correct. We are scaling up in China, both for solar cells and for panels, and also we have a plan to scale up in Europe.
I mean, you also have been at SNEC in China. I've met you there, and I've also been there. And I mean, we've seen how much Chinese players are scaling up capacities too. This is going to become a challenging environment for a new producer, let's say for a new producer in Europe.
Well, we see it in a different way. Of course, it's very challenging, it's very demanding, it's very risky, you might say, but this is not the way we see it. We see more of the opportunity side. So we are happy to be involved in this business, but we want to seize the opportunities. It's a game that is going on, and now it's a very good opportunity because the market is really hot, and the governments around the world are pushing for this market. They're pushing for renewables, they're pushing for solar. So even though it sounds like everybody is expanding, everybody is putting a lot of money in this business, but we have to do it as well. We have to believe that in the future, on a long term, in a long term, this is going to be a winning choice. Even though in the short term, it looks like a very risky and a very, like a very risky adventure.
Exactly, it's a risky. I mean, maybe we may see some oversupply coming, a lot of overcapacity in China, eventually in Europe. I mean, maybe solar module prices will drop further in the next months. This is, let's say, a very risky environment.
It is risky, but this is the way the European reasons. The risk is actually in the Chinese people DNA. Okay, so Chinese company, they say, yes, it's risky, but first of all, we need to make sure that we get all the resources that we can get our hands on, and then the problem of tomorrow, it will be solved like the day after tomorrow. Okay, so they understand there's probably oversupply, probably too many investments, but this is not the point right now. So first, we need to think, okay, we can get more resources. Okay, we can have more production plans. We can have more people to join our company. We can have more potential capacity for potential sales, even though those sales, maybe they won't be there next year. But this is, like I said, this is not the way they think. They think that, okay, I have an opportunity to get a piece of land, to get a new factory, I'll go and get the opportunity. And then my competitor will announce even bigger plans. And then someone else will announce even bigger plans. And even if those plans won't happen in like 100%, they still might happen. But if you don't announce, if you don't go ahead with these ideas, nothing will happen. And so this is, for the Chinese now, it's like, I don't know, like 300 years ago in the US, the people were, going places and put their flags. Okay, this is going to become my piece of land, that's my piece of land. So now it's like a virgin territory still in China, and they're trying to get as many resources, as many places that they can get. And then even if those plans won't happen, maybe they'll do something else with those. But the first important thing is to push forward even if it's deemed as overcapacity. So this is the way they reason. It's a completely different way from what we reason. We see, in Europe, we say, oh, it's going to be risky. Too many people are doing it, so we don't have to do it. In China, it's the opposite. Oh, everybody's doing it, we need to do bigger, we need to do more, and then something will happen. But that's the problem for tomorrow, not for today.
And how much the selection of the right cell technology will be important in this environment? I mean, FuturaSun has bet on the IBC technology.
We have bet on IBC, but we're going also for standard N-type technology. So IBC will build on top of that. So because IBC is still a niche market, okay? So it has a lot of potential. It's very cute, it's very nice, it's very efficient, but it will have to build on more standard N-type technology. So we'll use the N-type as a leverage, as a base for the development of IBC. Because if you only do IBC, we won't be able to make it very competitive. We won't be able to make it large scale and grow on that. So we need the standard N-type technology as a basis for that.
And FuturaSun is working, of course, between China and Europe. How much this intersection will be crucial in the future? How many companies may decide to work on both sides of the let's say, of the Eurasia continent?
Well, you have to be very resilient to be working in China. You need to know China very well. Luckily, I've been living in China half my life. That's one of our advantages. But for sure, Europe and Italy, they need China to rebuild the so-called European supply chain, okay? And China is happy along with that because the Chinese think in a different way. They're not opposite to us. They want to cooperate with us because they understand that Europe needs an industry. Europe needs an industry, that's for sure. But also we need them to build our industry back. We can't just build our own. It's going to be really hard to build from scratch something that we haven't built over the last 15 years.
Thank you very much, Alessandro, for being here with us.
Thank you.